Put out these fires in my headspace, 'cause I'm wide awake. Why am I awake? The city sits below when we take shots at the moon. I wanna give it to you, I wanna give it to you. Tell me, is it so bad? 'Cause it hurts like that when I think about it. We're both cynics now, it kills me, but I'd die for you anyway. Yeah, you're so scared when it hurts, but there's no way around it. In too deep now, and we'll never be the same. My love won't sleep, my little ghost queen, keep haunting me. Wearing my heart beneath those roads of sleep, when my eyes can't see. Tell me what my dreams could mean, when my love won't sleep, love won't sleep. The daylight fades in different shades, babe. Your hair's the same, I can't escape. Pull me into your darkness, I'll stay. Too high to drown this mountain now, but I could feel your every way. Is it so bad? 'Cause it hurts like that when I think about.
Feel an aching when you step into my body, in my mind. And when I
So I'll leave it up to you. When I don't know what to do.
I saw you in my mind when I was younger, and I grew older, and I saw you still. You'd stay close to me, sometimes behind my shoulder. When I was weary, trouble would come. In my last defense, you tried to warn me. I did not know you were a demon to me. Your presence, it was a fear that lived inside me. It grew around me, then you would appear. Deep below the earth, I might have found you. High above the tower, I could not see.
This land of tragedy, I try to find my way. And in this town of misery, I search for you.
legends never die.